The Canadian Constitution upholds freedom of the press. However, a significant number of journalists and photographers are finding themselves being harassed and criminalized by increasingly politicized law enforcement officers who overlook the supreme law of Canada time and time again. Jacob Markowitz was arrested in 2012 when he filmed security guards and police detaining a man at a shopping mall in Burnaby, British Columbia. Jennifer Pollock was arrested when she took a photo of someone else's graffiti depicting a Montreal police officer in a negative light and posted it on the internet. Paul Pritchard had his footage of police tasering a man to death at Vancouver Airport confiscated and had to launch a lawsuit against the police to retrieve the footage, which was later used as evidence to demonstrate police impropriety. Critics say that the Harper government's so-called tough-on-crime agenda has given many police officers the impression that they are above the law. Such critics say that it is the government's empowerment of the police that is leading to the increased criminalization of journalists and photographers who serve the public interest. Joshua Blakeney, Press TV, Calgary.
Boy, they're succeeding in their attack on journalism in Canada.
You can't have the truth getting out there. You might form your own opinions.
You know, when the Prime Minister stopped taking questions for the last 5 years, it kind of showed us where the country's going.
And they're trying to run the CBC.
Yeah, you know, turn it into a state broadcaster. That's why we're here. I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Nisbet. We are independent media.
Yeah, you know it. We're just a couple guys bringing you stories just like this.
California Senator Dianne Feinstein has proposed an amendment to the Media Shield law that would limit the law's protection only to, quote-unquote, real reporters, not bloggers, and other alternative media. During a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, Feinstein defined a journalist as, quote, a salaried agent of a media company. Feinstein objects, saying that the current version of the bill would grant a special privilege to people who aren't really reporters at all, who have no professional qualifications, like bloggers and citizen journalists. Senator Charles Schumer, a New York Democrat, worried the Shield law, if passed, would be used to protect whistleblowers and others who ferret out government corruption. Said Schumer, the world has changed. We're very careful in this bill to distinguish journalists from those who shouldn't be protected. WikiLeaks and all those. We've ensured that, said Schumer. The bill moving through Congress would require the Justice Department to notify reporters it decides to monitor. The law would allow Justice Department officials to delay notice for a period of 45 days. In addition, it would permit the Department of Justice to ask for an extension of 45 days. Considering that 90% of the American media is owned by 6 large corporations, this new law, if passed, would further enable the government to further persecute independent journalism, despite the fact that protection for a free press is already afforded by the First Amendment to the Constitution. Just think, if it were 1776, Thomas Paine would be getting excluded from the new Media Shield law because he wasn't a, quote, salaried agent of a media company.
Yes, indeed. They're trying to make a law saying that people like me and you
are terrorists.
Because we're talking about the truth.
Yeah, because, you know, the truth is terrorism.
What we do around here is we siphon through thousands of hours of propaganda and nonsense on major news to dig out those few nuggets of actual truth and information. And now we're focusing on the freedom of the press,
which is being suppressed everywhere.
So we want you to check our facts. We want you to use your intelligence, use the internet for exactly what it's for. Well, what major people with intellects use it for. I'm not going to talk about the rest.
No.
Okay, so taking a break from Pinterest right now. We're talking about freedom of the press. What do you got?
Well, we got the UK doing top-down governing.
Okay, the Prime Minister is stepping in, so we're stepping up. Check this out.
Months after the first revelations, Edward Snowden's leaks are still causing big waves and awkward questions. The latest centred on London's Guardian newspaper, which has published many of the stories which have embarrassed the British government. It's now been revealed that Prime Minister David Cameron ordered his top official to contact the paper in a bid to stop further revelations.
Now, the arrogance, the disregard for public interest journalism and for the freedoms that we're supposed to hold very dear in this country is pretty chilling. Is it possible to be shocked but not surprised? The alleged actions of the government at the most senior levels here leave a lot wanting. There are a lot of questions to be answered.
Questions also remain about the detention of David Miranda at Heathrow Airport. Miranda is the partner of Glenn Greenwald, the journalist who wrote The Guardian's stories. The fact that his partner was held under anti-terrorist laws has been widely condemned, and lawyers for Miranda are now taking legal action against the British government and police, demanding the return of his laptop and other equipment which was confiscated.
On a principle level, he feels that his rights, his freedom from self-incrimination, his right to respect for private life, freedom of liberty and freedom of expression rights have all been manifestly interfered with in this case, and he's really concerned about that and the chilling effect that this will have on journalists throughout the world travelling through the UK.
With the Brazilian government and international media organisations also calling for an investigation into the detention of David Miranda, the British authorities are coming under intense pressure to provide some answers. Harry Smith, Al Jazeera.
So let's suppress the truth. Let's take it on the orders of the Prime Minister himself.
You know, it's kind of strange that the Prime Minister had to step in. The Guardian, of course, has been one of those truth and freedom type people.
They're being a real thorn in the side of the powers that be, though.
Yeah. You know, Harper steps in, takes control of the CBC to stop them. But that worked out so well for him.
Oh, yes. They're really going easy on him, aren't they?
It's like all of a sudden the CBC discovered journalism. It's just like, oh, wow, you know, we're going to start talking about this stuff we know about. Then Senate came out. Okay.
Yeah.
So it does not get...
It does get worse. It gets better for us, worse for them.
It just gets creepier, too. Check this out.
The editor of The Guardian, Alan Rusbridger, says that the British government intimidated him in several meetings over the Edward Snowden saga and then gave him an ultimatum: either destroy all of the materials on the matter or shut down their publishing operations. Here's Rusbridger explaining why they decided to destroy the computer hard drives containing some of the secret files.
I also explained to the UK officials we were dealing with that there were other copies already in America and Brazil, so they wouldn't be achieving anything. But once it was obvious that they would be going to law, I would rather destroy the copy than hand it back to them or allow the courts to freeze our reporting.
So what should we make of this? Joining me now is Josh Levy. He's the Internet Campaign Director at Free Press. Josh, thank you so much for joining me. That's my question to you. What should we make of these revelations about the Guardian's hard drives getting destroyed?
We should be very, very worried about it. This is an escalation in the battle between privacy advocates and whistleblowers and folks either in the NSA here in the United States or other intelligence agencies abroad who are fighting for the future of our right to communicate in private. So the fact that British intelligence agencies are actually willing to go as far as what they've done and destroy the hard drives of one of the most prominent newspapers in that country and in the Western world is incredibly frightening, and it really shows what we're up against here. If we believe, as we do here at Free Press and many of our allies do, in people's right to communicate in private and in rolling back the NSA's enormous and overreaching surveillance programs.
So they're doing their best. You know, they're trying to control the CBC here in Canada. They're trying to shut down independent or, fully independent news in the UK.
Yeah, but so much intimidation. I mean, outright in your face.
Yeah, as if they're going to shut down the stream of information, because when they shut someone down, 10 more pop up just like us.
It's like the 21st century equivalent, though, of smashing the presses.
Yeah, they are. They're doing it, and they're trying it on YouTube, too. This is an amazing clip.
Well, nearly 3 weeks after being disabled at the video sharing site YouTube, Press TV has realized that the site has deactivated the channel's account based on an order by the Israeli American Anti-Defamation League, ADL. YouTube disabled Press TV's account in late July, making the channel unable to upload new videos. Neither YouTube nor its parent company Google provided any explanation to the Iranian news channel. Now it's been revealed that the site terminated Press TV's account on an order by an American-Israeli lobbying group. ADL has accused Press TV of bypassing Western sanctions by broadcasting live via YouTube and other internet and mobile platforms. Press TV has been under mounting Western pressure since the beginning of 2012. Several European and Arab satellite companies have taken the alternative media outlet off the air since then. You can watch Press TV's new videos at www.youtube.com/user/Press TV newscast.
I love the way she finishes off to say, just so happens that they didn't stop us.
Yeah, but it's amazing that the Anti-Defamation League can dictate to a major corporation like Google.
Yeah. Bypass, not, they're saying, well, they're bypassing sanctions, but the Anti-Defamation League is bypassing logic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess if you can't intimidate, then you censor.
Yes, and they're trying desperately to censor. There's also algorithms on your computer preventing you from getting independent news. We've proven that more than 5 times now.
Yes, there are.
Okay, so let's just take a look at one of the major sentences that came out that came out of all of this.
Yeah,
it all started
very, very sad.
Yeah,
commentary on American justice.
Okay, here it's Bradley Manning.
He started the debate that's still going on right now with Edward Snowden about the balance between government secrets and national security by giving the mother lode of U.S. intel to the website WikiLeaks. And today, Private Bradley Manning was sentenced to 35 years in prison for that leak, fewer than the 60 years prosecutors wanted and far fewer than the 90 years he could have received. Manning was convicted on 20 counts, including espionage, fraud, and theft, but acquitted of the most serious charges of aiding the enemy. He will be ineligible for any pay or benefits. He will be dishonorably discharged. Authorities say Manning handed over 750,000 pages of classified documents and videos to WikiLeaks, including a video titled Collateral Murder, which appeared to be shot from an Apache chopper as it fired on people. A dozen were killed, among them a Reuters TV cameraman and his driver. Manning is one of the 7 Americans whom the Obama administration has charged with leaking classified information to the media. Those 7, that's more than twice than all other previous presidential administrations.
And yes, Bradley Manning started it all off. Julian Assange immediately responding from his position.
Yeah, it's a moral reflection of the U.S.'s attitude.
Yeah, the U.S. has an attitude that we're the enemy, and if you share information about their illegal activities, you're informing the enemy.
But if you perform illegal activities, you go scot-free.
Yeah, you get a paycheck.
If you do war crimes, you're a hero.
Yeah.
If you expose war crimes, you're a traitor.
And that's just offensive even to start. The intellect actually is humbled before the amount of myopia and delusion that these guys can live with. We are urging you to check our facts and definitely keep spreading the news around. Like and share everything you find on the internet. Start up your own radio station, but please be part of the solution, not part of the problem. I'm Darren Howard.
And I'm Robert Newsmith.
Remember, we've got the Municipal Sustainability Project that's going out like wildfire in the Kelowna area. And we're also informing people and groups right across the planet that there are solutions, simple solutions to poverty. Go figure. Something else they're not going to promote.
That's right.
Stay tuned. That's coming up. We've got some great specials right here. It's Radio Free Canada Video Radio. Thanks for tuning in.